Good afternoon, student. This is the seventh lecture of unit number 1. In the previous lecture, I have concluded the first unit, but there is one topic remain from this first unit, so that we will cover today. Till now, we have studied the classification of materials, uh, what is metal alloy, then what is composite materials, what is organic polymers, what is what we can say that the ceramics that we have already studied. Then factors affecting the selection of material, then the different properties of the material that we have already studied. Then we have studied what is Miller indices, what is coordination number, what is atomic packing factor for different crystalline structure that we have already studied. Today we will have to study the types of cooling curve. So what are the different types of cooling curve that we will have to study? Basically there are more types of cooling, but in our syllabus we will have to study only two types of cooling curve, that is for pure metal and binary alloy. Okay, so with the help of this temperature time graph we can study the cooling curve for pure metal. uh, in the solidification of a pure metal also we have studied this type of graph. The same graph we will have to study here. Okay, now in on x-axis there is a time parameter is given, on y-axis there is a temperature parameter is given. Okay, the solidification will start from this point. From this point the solidification, or we can say that this point is nothing but the temperature of a metal is at a pouring temperature, means it will be one third times more than the melting point of the metal. Okay, so at this point the temperature of the metal is at pouring temperature. Okay, so from that temperature we will have to cool that metal. Okay, so while cooling it will follow this line. Okay, now after reaching this point there will be some freezing point occur. Okay, and at that point the solidification of a molten metal will start, and it will completed at a constant temperature. Here we can observe one perpendicular line to the y-axis. It representing it require a const. It will be solidified at a constant temperature within a certain period of time. At a certain period of time means what? From this point to this point, means this is a T1 and this is T2. Okay, so in between this time, that is T1 T2 minus T1 time, the solidification of a pure metal will completed. Okay, and this is the some extra cooling that will be remain metal which is in molten state, that will be solidified at this point. Okay, so this is this constant or what we can parallel line to the x-axis representing the solidification of metal. Pure metal takes place at a constant temperature. Okay, so this is nothing but the cooling curve for the pure metal. Then next we will have to study the cooling curve for a binary solid solution alloy. Now in this case also that alloy is maintained at a pouring temperature. So this point representing the pouring temperature. Suppose we have pour the molten metal or in of alloy. Alloy is such a molten metal that we will pour into the mold cavity. Okay, now it will cool likewise. It will follow this line. Okay, and at this point the liquid phase will occur. Okay, and that liquid phase will start cooling, or phase change will takes place. But here we can observe that there is a alloy of binary metal. Binary metal means what? Having a two metals having different melting point or solidifying temperature. Okay, that's why in this phase we can observe the two phases, that is liquid. Here we can observe, means along this line we can observe liquid plus solid phase. Means what we can say that one of the metal from the alloy will solidify first, and one of the metal and remaining or other metal, it will solidify after the solidification of the first metal. Means what? This occur because of the variation in the solidifying temperature of the two different metal. That's why in this point, or we will call it A, B, C and D, means in between B and C line the occurrence of two phases, that is liquid plus solid, and in between C and D, we will observe only a solid phase. Okay, so in the pure metal, in case of pure metal, we are observing the, or we are obtaining the parallel line to the x-axis, but here there is certain inclination of a line BC with respect to the x-axis. Okay, that is because of the variation in the solidifying temperature of the two binary metals. Okay, so by considering these two curve for pure metal as well as the binary metal, we will have to draw or plot the cooling curve or equilibrium diagram. Is it? So got it? What is the cooling curve for pure metal? It is parallel to the x-axis and perpendicular to the y-axis. But in case of the binary solid solution alloy, that line BC is having certain inclination with x-axis as well as with the y-axis. Okay, this is for the binary alloy. So by considering this cooling curve of a pure metal and binary solid solution alloy, we will have to plot the equilibrium diagram. Now that equilibrium diagram can be plotted by using the several techniques such as thermal analysis, optical and electron microscopy, X-ray, thermodynamic data. Means by considering this all the data, we can plot the equilibrium diagram. But every method has a certain limitation as well as certain advantages. ओके, प्रत्येक मेथडला काय आहे, काही ॲडव्हान्टेजेस आहेत किंवा काही कॉन्स्टंट म्हणूयात किंवा लिमिटेशन्स आहेत. ओके, सो लेट अस कन्सिडर अ बायनरी कॉपर निकेल सिस्टीम. Means what? Copper nickel alloy we have considered for plotting the equilibrium diagram. That why we have selected that copper nickel system? Because the copper nickel have 100% solubility in liquid and solid state. That's why we have selected the copper nickel alloy, and they form a series of solid solutions. Series of solid solution means by the difference of 10% composition of nickel and what we can say that the copper. Is it? So following steps are used to obtain the equilibrium diagram. The first step काय है? Prepare a large number of varying composition with a variation of 10% nickel and mark them as a below. आता पहा या टेबलमध्ये काय दिलेलं आहे, तर कॉलममध्ये बघा पर्सेंटेज ऑफ कॉपर, पर्सेंटेज ऑफ निकेल अँड मटेरियल. ॲज वी आर कन्सिडरिंग here that 0 is coming down, it is 100, this is 100. Okay, so copper is in 100%, nickel 0%, copper 90%, nickel 10%. Likewise we have prepared a series of a system. Okay, so by considering such a percentage of copper and nickel, we have obtained the materials, or what we consider the solid solution. The solid solution number 1 consists of 100% copper, 0% nickel. Material number 2 consists of 90% copper, 10% nickel. Likewise, we have obtained the 11 solid solution. Okay, out of that, the number 1 and number 11 are a pure metal. Here we can observe 100% copper, 0% nickel means it's a 100% pure metal of copper, and number 11 having 0% copper and 100% nickel means it is a pure metal of nickel. And number 2 and number 10, there is a certain correction here. Number 10 means the material number 2 to 10 are a binary alloy. Okay, so by considering this data, we will have to plot the cooling curve of above material shown in figure. आता इथे पहा एक डायग्राम दिसत असणार तुम्हाला इथे, जे आपण प्रिवियस कूलिंग कर्व पाहिले. लाईक वाईज सेम पॅरामीटरच्या बेसिसवर इथे डायग्राम ड्रॉ केली आहे बघा. ऑन एक्स ॲक्सिस देर इज अ टाईम इज गिवन, ऑन वाय ॲक्सिस देर इज अ टेम्परेचर इज गिवन. हिअर in the table we have considered in the difference of 10%, but the diagram is drawn by considering the 20%. Okay, so here we can observe that the first number material is represented by this line which is parallel to x axis. Then second number, this is first number, this is second, third, fourth, फिफ्थ, लाईकवाईज दिस इज 11. बरोबर. तर आता फर्स्ट नंबर काय प्युअर मेटलसाठी आहे, सेकंड नंबर बायनरी अलॉयसाठी आहे, लास्ट also there is one parallel line to the x axis, then it is also for the pure metal, and in between 1 and 11 whatever the cooling curve are shown, that representing the cooling curve for a binary alloy. Okay, so that's why there is obtaining 2 points. Here we can observe T1, T2, then this is 1 point, this is another point. Okay, this is 1 point, this is another point, means for a binary alloy we are getting the 2 points. Then in the next step we have transferred the temperature. What is next step? Note down the liquidus and solidus temperature of these material. Liquidus temperature are marked as L1, L2, L3 up to L11, and solidus temperature are marked as S1, S2, S3 up to S11 respectively. आता इथे बघा कशा प्रकारे रिप्रेझेंट केले आहेत, दॅट वी विल हॅव टू स्टडी. हा जो पॉईंट आहे इथला दॅट इज रिप्रेझेंटेड ॲज L1, दिस पॉईंट इज रिप्रेझेंटेड ॲज L2, then this point is represented as L3, this point is represented as L4, up to last one is the L11. Okay, and the lower curve representing that point, that is S1, S2, this point S3, this point S4, and up to last that is S11. by joining that all the points, बरोबर आहे. इथे जे ग्राफवर पॉईंट मिळतात दॅट पॉईंट्स सपोज वी हॅव जॉईंट स्मूथली, वी कॅन obtain a closed loop. Okay, and here since the material 1 and 11 are pure metal, they solidify at a constant temperature that we have already studied, and hence their liquidus and solidus temperature are same. That's why L1 equal to S1 and L11 equal to S11. Okay, तर इथे काय आहे की हा जो L1 आणि S1 आहे इक्वल आहे, आणि या पॉईंटला L11 आणि S11 दॅट आर इक्वल. इज इट? सो इन द नेक्स्ट स्टेप ट्रान्सफर दिस टेम्परेचर टू टेम्परेचर वर्सेस कंपोजिशन ग्राफ. आता हे जे इथे टेम्परेचर मिळाले आहेत आपल्याला, बरोबर, टेम्परेचर कोणते तर T1, T2, T3, बरोबर. हे जे टेम्परेचर आता पहिल्या मटेरियलसाठी काय कॉन्स्टंट टेम्परेचर आहे, सेकंड मटेरियलसाठी T1, T2 आहे, थर्ड मटेरियलसाठी काय T1 डॅश T2 डॅश आहे. लाईकवाईज हे जे टेम्परेचर दॅट वी हॅव ट्रान्सफर ऑन द टेम्परेचर कंपोजिशन ग्राफ. हा आहे टेम्परेचर कंपोजिशन ग्राफ. तर जसं आता इथे काय येईल 20, 40, 60, 80, तर आपल्या केसमध्ये काय येईल 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 लाईकवाईज ऑन दी एक्स ॲक्सिस. काय येईल इथे 10, त्यानंतर 20, त्यानंतर 30, likewise on x axis, and on y axis there is a temperature. So as this 20% of nickel is representing T2 and 20% of copper representing T1, so likewise we obtained all the liquidus temperature on the upper side of the curve and all the solidus point on the lower side of the curve. Is it? And in between that liquidus means this above this line curve, all the materials are in liquid phase, and below this curve all the metals are in solid phase, and in between these two curve means in this loop we are obtaining the liquid plus solid solution. Is it? So what is next? Draw a smooth curve through this point L1 and L11 and S1 and S11, which represent the liquidus and solidus curve on the diagram. Above the liquidus temperature, all materials are in liquid phase, that I have already told you, and below the below that solidus curve, all the materials are in solid phase. Okay, and between both the liquidus and solidus alloy, all the metals are in liquid plus solid state. Okay, the resulting loop, हा जो लूप मिळाला आहे, ओके, हा जो एक क्लोज लूप मिळाला याला काय म्हटलेलं आहे? इक्विलिब्रियम डायग्राम किंवा फेज डायग्राम. याला दुसरं नाव काय आहे? फेज डायग्राम सुद्धा म्हणतात. बरोबर, लिक्विडस डायग्राम किंवा इक्विलिब्रियम डायग्राम किंवा फेज डायग्राम. आता जर आपण ॲट एनी टेम्परेचर सच ॲज टी या कर्ववर एखादं टेम्परेचर कन्सिडर कर, ॲव्हरेज कंपोजिशन ऑफ लिक्विड इज गिवन बाय पॉईंट एक्स अँड ॲव्हरेज कंपोजिशन ऑफ लिक्विड इज गिवन ॲज वाय, आणि द अमाऊंट ऑफ सॉलिड अँड लिक्विड इज कॅल्क्युलेटेड बाय लिव्हर रूल. आता या डायग्राममध्ये इथे आपण क्लिअर करूया. बघा काय म्हणायचं आहे त्याला. बघा ही काय आहे? टाईम टेम्परेचर डायग्राम. आता या काहीतरी पर्टिक्युलर कंपोजिशन ऑफ निकेल अँड कॉपरमध्ये आपण एक पॉईंट कन्सिडर केला. हा पॉईंट आहे, त्याला नाव देतो मी टी. या पॉईंटच्या करस्पॉन्डिंग इथे काय आहे? काहीतरी टेम्परेचर आहे टी. इज इट? वाय ॲक्सेसवर काय टेम्परेचर आहे? तर या लाईनला किंवा या पर्टिक्युलर पॉईंटवर किती पर्सेंटेज ऑफ निकेल आहे आणि किती पर्सेंटेज ऑफ कॉपर आहे, दॅट वी कॅन फाइंड आउट, or that will be represented on the x-axis. But the material containing 40% nickel and 60% copper at a particular temperature T, in that case how much percentage of liquid is present and how much percentage of solid is present, that we will have to identify by using the liquidus curve as well as solid curve, or we can say that the lever rule. अगेन इथे लक्ष द्या काय सांगायचं आहे. तर बघा एक पर्टिक्युलर टेम्परेचर कन्सिडर केलं आपण टी आणि हॅविंग सर्टन कंपोजिशन. आता या टी टेम्परेचरला जर एक अशी हॉरिझॉन्टल लाईन ड्रॉ केली आपण, तर काय होईल? ही हॉरिझॉन्टल लाईन कुठेतरी लिक्विडस कर्वला इंटरसेक्ट होईल आणि सॉलिडस कर्वला इंटरसेक्ट होईल. बरोबर. तर आता या ठिकाणी बघा काय सांगता येईल की या पर्टिक्युलर कंपोजिशनला आणि या टेम्परेचरला किती पर्सेंट लिक्विड प्रेझेंट आहे, दॅट विल बी गिवन बाय वाय, अँड किती पर्सेंट सॉलिड प्रेझेंट आहे, दॅट विल बी गिवन बाय एक्स, अँड इट कॅन बी कॅल्क्युलेटेड बाय लिव्हर रूल. इट कॅन बी कॅल्क्युलेटेड बाय लिव्हर रूल. बरोबर. तर हा लिव्हर रूल काय आहे, दॅट वी विल हॅव टू स्टडी ऑन दी नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. नाउ सी हिअर, दिस इज दी लिव्हर रूल. आता लिव्हर रूलमध्ये बघा, वॉट एव्हर द लूप वी हॅव ऑप्टेन दॅट इज सिमिलर टू दिस. On x-axis there is a percentage weight, or we can say that the composition. बरोबर. On y-axis there is a temperature. Okay, so we have considered the point T. हा T point consider केला, that T point on y-axis representing a certain temperature, and we have drawn one certain dotted line parallel to x-axis which intersect to the liquidus curve as well as solidus curve. लिक्विडस कर्वला जिथे इंटरसेक्ट झाली आहे त्याला नाव दिलं आहे एल, आणि सॉलिडस कर्वला जिथे इंटरसेक्ट झाली आहे त्याला नाव दिलं आहे एस. ओके, अँड द सर्टन कंपोजिशन दॅट इज ओ. नाव वी आर इंटरेस्टेड टू फाइंड आउट द अमाऊंट ऑफ लिक्विड ॲट दॅट पर्टिक्युलर टेम्परेचर अँड at that particular temperature and a particular composition. म्हणजेच काय म्हणूयात आपण की या मटेरियलचं टेम्परेचर टी आहे आणि वेट किती आहे, वेट पर्सेंटेज दॅट इज WS और WO. तर या कंडिशनला जे काही इथे मटेरियल प्रेझेंट आहे त्या मटेरियलमध्ये लिक्विड किती आहे आणि सॉलिड किती आहे ते फाइंड आउट करायचा एक फॉर्म्युला आहे आणि दॅट फॉर्म्युला इज डिराइव्ड फ्रॉम लिव्हर रूल. आता अमाऊंट ऑफ लिक्विड म्हणजेच काय, अमाऊंट ऑफ लिक्विड इक्वल टू अपोजिट लेंथ आर्म अपॉन टोटल लेंथ ऑफ आर्म. आता अपोजिट लेंथ ऑफ आर्म काय असते ते बघूयात. आता काय, जर आपल्याला अमाऊंट ऑफ लिक्विड कॅल्क्युलेट करायला सांगितलं तर लिक्विड कुठे आहे, आता आर्म कोणता आहे ते बघूयात. इथे आर्म कोणता आहे, तर टोटल आर्म आहे हा. त्याला इथे इंटरसेक्ट केला आहे, ठीक आहे. तर व्हॉट वी आर इंटरेस्टेड टू कॅल्क्युलेट दॅट इज अमाऊंट ऑफ लिक्विड इन अ मटेरियल. सो अमाऊंट ऑफ लिक्विड कोणत्या साईडला आहे, या टोटल आर्मच्या लेफ्ट साईडला आहे. लेफ्ट साईडचा आर्म म्हणजे कोणता, हा, ओके. आणि राईट साईडचा आर्म कोणता आहे, हा, बरोबर. तर आता अमाऊंट ऑफ लिक्विड कॅल्क्युलेट करायचं आहे, म्हणजेच व्हॉट वी आर इंटरेस्टेड टू कॅल्क्युलेट द अमाऊंट ऑफ लिक्विड. तर what we can say that the opposite arm of liquid will be OS. Here is O and this is S. Opposite arm कोणता, that is OS, means opposite length of arm upon total arm. Total arm length कोणती आहे, that is LS. So it is represented by, here we can observe opposite length of arm equal to OS. It is OS upon total length, that is LS. It is LS. It is helpful to find out the amount of liquid in a particular material. Likewise, we can calculate the amount of solid. Amount of solid equal to काय, opposite length of arm upon total length of arm. आता सॉलिड कुठे प्रेझेंट आहे, इथे. त्याचा अपोजिट आर्म कोणता असेल, हा, बरोबर. तर LO, दॅट इज LO. टोटल लेंथ आर्म सेम असेल, दॅट इज LS. सो बाय युझिंग this formula we can calculate the amount of solid present in a particular material which is maintained at a certain temperature T and certain weight percentage W. Okay, so by considering this lever rule we can find out the amount of phases existing in the particular or selected material at a particular temperature and percentage weight. Are you getting it, everyone? Is it? So this is regarding the types of cooling curve, plotting of equilibrium diagram, and next is the lever rule. That lever rule is helpful to calculate the amount of phases in equilibrium diagram also. So that we can study with the help of a lever rule. Is it? So this is nothing but the first unit, and next unit will be equilibrium diagram. And equilibrium diagram we will have to study the different invariant reactions, different phases existing in the equilibrium diagram. That phases nothing but the austenite, what is austenite, what is delta ferrite, what is delta alpha ferrite, what is cementite, that we will have to study. Then we will have to study the different invariant reaction occurring at a various temperature and percentage of carbon in the second unit. Then we will have to study the percentage of the material by using the lever rule. Is it? So in the next lecture we will study the remaining part of the second unit. Whatever the queries you have, you can ask me in the Google Meet at 11:30. So thank you.